Welcome to the Forum. I'm Sheila Evans. We're glad you're here and have a wonderful show in store for you today. Our program highlights interesting and important achievements, programs, and events within our school system and community. On today's show, we'll talk with Kristen Jackson from New Hanover County Schools about Ethics 360. New Hanover County Schools Concerns and Resolution Process Center will allow parents, students, employees, and community members to report a complaint or a concern online confidentially 24 hours a day, 365 days a year at any location. Then we'll chat with Brooke Demerel from this year's Polar Plunge. It's an exciting event each year, and we'll find out what you need to know to get involved. And finally, we'll sit down with Beth Peddle and Michelle Gray to get all the details on pre-K enrollment. It's another great edition of the Forum, and we'll get started right after this short break.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
I am joined by the Director of Student Support Services, Kristen Jackson, and she's here today to talk to us about Ethics 360. Kristen, tell our viewers what that is.
Ethics 360 is our new concern and resolution program. It allows parents, students, community members to go online and put in their concerns to the school system. So you can put those in anonymously, you can put them in with your name on it, but someone will investigate it and get back to you. Some of the things that we're using it for internally and are asking for parents to use it for is for if you're going to report bullying. We used to have a form that you filled out by hand and then had to bring up to the school. You can now do that online through this program, and we will forward it to the school, and the investigation will start as soon as we have that.
Have you gotten a lot more because internet access makes it easier than going to the school?
I think we've gotten a lot because people that wanted to report things anonymously now have the option to do that. Also, I think the bullying reports have been coming in quicker because they have been able, the kids feel comfortable going online and using it.
So students will turn these in as well as parents?
The students can turn them in also. So if we have a student come to the office where we would sit them down before and have them fill out the bullying form with everything that happened and all the details, now we just set them in a computer and allow them to put that in themselves.
Interesting. That's really cool. And tell us what the process is after it's received by you.
So once it's received in the office, we triage it out to the schools or departments. So if it's a transportation concern, of course it goes to our transportation department. If it's a school concern, it goes there. Once the principal receives that, then they assign investigators who actually do the investigation. The really neat thing about it is if you do report anonymously, you are able to watch the progression of the investigation. It doesn't give much details, however, it does allow you to see when it's under investigation and when it's been resolved.
And how do you know that? Do you have a case number, and do you get an email response, or do you have to create an account?
So when you go on, it gives you a case number and you make your own PIN number, and there's a link to check back to see if anything has been put up.
Very cool.
One thing that we can do if it's an anonymous reporter is contact that reporter. We don't know who they are, but we can contact them and ask additional questions if we need to, and they can even provide additional files if they need to upload some documents or pictures. Lots of times in bullying cases, we have a lot of cyberbullying, so we have the screenshots.
Sure.
Parents are able to upload those for us to see. So it's been very helpful and kind of has streamlined our process for parent complaints and bullying.
Now at the school, who's the investigator?
Sometimes it's the AP, sometimes it's the principal, sometimes it's the school counselors, depending on who has the best relationship with the child that can really help. And we have found that the children are asking to report anonymously. So this is in addition to the Say Something program that we put out about a month ago, which was a state mandate for a text-to-tip line as well as a call-in and an app. And so those are more for emergency situations. When we get those, it's usually for a child that's harming themselves or has threatened to harm others. This gives them a platform where they can actually go in and type out their problem, and something that is not an emergency, and we can take time to investigate it.
And what would be considered a good resolution? That all parties have been contacted, or help me understand that?
Right. So sometimes we can give out more information than others, depending on if it's a personnel issue. But yes, you will get some type of message back, unless you're anonymous. We really can't give out information then. But we can let you know that it's been resolved. And if you have put your name on it, then we can tell you what we can tell you about the resolution and what's going on. So there's certain ways we can do that. If we know who you are, we can call you or put it on the Ethics 360 site, or we may send a letter.
So they would have to log on with the PIN and see, what was left with the record.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you would send a letter if you had the address?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Do most people report anonymously?
We've had a lot of anonymous reports recently, but I think that's because we just opened up the portal. Usually if it's about their child, they let us know, but if it's just a general thing like a bus going down a road that they think is too small for the bus or something like that, it may be an anonymous report.
Well, that was going to be my next question, that you said that if it involved a bus, it would go to transportation, but I was thinking of, some kind of bullying situation,
Right.
Wouldn't that still end up at the school? But now I've got...
Yes, and you can report anything. So, like I said, we have, if you see a building that you think is in disrepair that you wanted to talk about, if you have an employee concern, anything like that can be reported to this and sent to the right department for us to be able to investigate.
Wow, are you overwhelmed with reports?
We really are not, because I think people take it seriously. They know that when they report, it needs to be for something serious, that someone's in harm, that maybe there's some, we have a fraud hotline that we have changed over to this, so if there's ever any misuse of funds or anything like that, then that can be reported there too. So people understand that it's for serious investigations, and they've been very good about reporting those things.
So it really has streamlined things for you.
It really has.
With the fraud, with the bullying, paper that used to be in the office.
Exactly. We have stacks and stacks of paper, and so now this allows us not only to store those things electronically, but quickly find them. Instead of going through a filing cabinet with every concern from 2015, we can type the name in and it comes up automatically.
And is there a federal requirement on how quickly you respond to a bullying complaint?
We always try to respond within 72 hours. We try to, with a resolution, and we try to talk to the parents and the bullying and things within 24 hours, within the next school day, so that we make sure. The first thing we want to do is ensure the safety of the child. So even if we can't start the investigation right then, we definitely talk to the kids and keep them separated.
Very good. Sounds like a wonderful opportunity for all access. If you can't get to the school to fill out the form, most people can get online somewhere.
Exactly, and you can use it on your smartphone.
Cool. Oh, even better. Yeah. Very good. Well, Kristen, thanks for giving us an update. That's, I'm sure, good information for everyone.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a few minutes, right after these messages.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
My next two guests are here from Special Olympics. To my close left, I have Brooke D'Amarel, and to my far left, I have Austin Comfort. He's one of the athletes. Tell me, Austin, tell me what Special Olympics is.
Special Olympics provides sports training and competitions to children and adults with intellectual disabilities, gives opportunities to develop physical fitness.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, we just like to give chances to ages 8 and up, people with intellectual disabilities. They all can kind of compete together from schools and adult programs.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a blast.
I came last year to the spring games.
Hey.
So, Brooke, we're here today to talk about the polar plunge.
We are.
What do we need to know?
We need to know that it's February 15th next month.
Okay.
And we are doing our registration through GoTime. So it's online, on an online portal until February 15th, but you have until February 1st for a cheaper rate and for a guaranteed t-shirt that day.
Very good. Tell us what the day's going to look like. What's the schedule? You know,
so
that
it
fun
starts,
stuff.
it doesn't start till 11, so it's a later
Okay.
start off, and then we've got a silent auction, a raffle, and we'll have a DJ, and then a bunch of vendors. We've got 20 vendors right now, 2 food trucks. The actual 5K starts at 1:30, and then the 1 mile starts at 1:35. And then the best part of the day, at 3 o'clock, we plunge into the very warm ocean.
Oh, you're so optimistic. Austin, tell me how many athletes benefit from the polar plunge?
600.
600? Do you think that's a lot? I do. And they're in different groups?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Like how many sports we have?
We have 15.
Okay. So do you end up keeping busy all year long with Special
I do.
Olympics between the 15 sports? What's your favorite one?
Softball.
Oh, that was easy.
I'm his coach, so that was a good answer.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
very good answer with
a
your
good
coach.
answer.
Which one don't you like the most?
Well, his grandma's his coach in the other one, so we really can't. It's a lose-lose.
Okay, okay. If somebody doesn't want to do the plunge, how can they still continue to support you?
Yeah, so we love and take donations year round, but they can also come volunteer at the Polar Plunge or volunteer at any of our events throughout the year. Get your work involved, join a team, fundraise.
Tell us about some of the other things you do besides the polar plunge.
So that's our only fundraiser that we have
Okay.
throughout the year, but we do have a 5-week summer camp that we also do a ton of business for. We've got 5 pretty big events that we do throughout the year. We do a huge MedFest Day where we offer free medicals and physical checkups to our population, and that's usually a pretty big ask volunteer-wise as well.
And what would somebody do that wants to volunteer there if they're not a health professional?
If they're not a health professional,
Okay.
they would just come out and you can give eye exams and check blood pressure, vitals, all that kind of stuff, and you really don't need to be a doctor for that. The doctor's the one that has to do the final.
Understood.
Checkup.
And what would other volunteer opportunities be at some of those events?
Yeah, so like for spring games, the event you said you went to, we have about 12 different stations with the running and jumping and softball throw. So we need about 100 to 150 volunteers for those big events.
Wow.
So there's really a lot of help getting it going, giving lunch, passing out everything.
Gotcha. What about your summer camp?
So the summer camp, we always need volunteers for because we have special guests. It's Monday through Friday, 6
Oh,
hours
wow.
a day. Yeah, so it's pretty easy doing it because we've done it for so long, but you always need volunteers because we'll have 50 to 60 kids per week that we need to keep motivated and excited.
And they come just for 1 week?
They come for the full week. Yep, it's different age groups
And
each
they
week.
take turns and such? Nice, very nice. Why is it important to support Special Olympics?
So we are completely run off of donations. So we rely kind of on the community to help us get the word out that we really do have so many cool things that we offer. It's not just one event per year. Like everyone thinks it's just spring games. We've got a ton of other events, and we really are locally funded by all the businesses. People, our athletes fundraise a lot. His team last year fundraised, I think, like $8,000.
Nice.
Which really helps put on all of our sports and buy uniforms and just pay for all the fun stuff we do.
What did you guys do to fundraise?
He helps go to businesses, right?
Yeah.
And get
Okay.
gift cards, and that kind of helps with our silent auction and raffle. They share it on Facebook constantly. You hit up your neighbors, your Nana.
Well, you know, Nana can't say no, right? How can people get involved with Special Olympics?
So they can go to our website. It's www.specialolympicsnhc.com, or our Facebook page, New Hanover County Special Olympics, or they can call 910-341-7253, and we'll always be able to kind of put them in the right spot.
Okay, so back to the polar plunge. How many people are you expecting or hoping for?
So we're hoping to get at least 100, 150 people plunging, and then We usually have about 250 to 300 runners. We're hoping to get more dog participants this year. This is the first year we're doing t-shirts for the dogs to wear, so we're trying to
T-shirts for the
t-shirts
dogs
for
to
the
wear.
dogs
Tell
to
me a little bit
wear.
about that.
Yes, well, I'm obsessed with everything my dog does, so
Okay.
I would do any event that he can get something. So we figured it's the same logo, it's just on a t-shirt that the actual dogs can wear as they run or as they plunge, because they're invited to the whole day as well.
Oh, I didn't think about the dogs plunging.
They can plunge as well, yeah.
Who came up with the dog idea? You as a dog lover?
We've always done dog
Oh, you have?
participants, but yeah, I really wanted a t-shirt for my dog, so instead of being selfish, I figured I would let everybody get a t-shirt as well.
Very nice, very nice. What's one of your biggest struggles with the event?
Just making sure we get people signed up and spreading the word, because this is my first year on my own doing it, so it's just making sure we get the word to the right people and let them know that we really do have so many more opportunities literally year round that we need help for.
And that's a good point. I can't say that I was aware of all of them, except like you said, I know about the
Everyone knows
spring
about
games.
spring games,
And
yeah.
I
We
did
have
know about the summer
dances, movie
dances?
nights.
Oh,
We do it all.
and do you need volunteers for that?
Always, yes, because we serve lunch at our dinners, like our dances, and
Yeah.
it's usually 150 to 200 athletes come, and we just want to make sure they have a great time the whole
Do
time.
you welcome high school volunteers who might need, community service hours?
we welcome
or-
all ages,
Okay.
but if they're 12 and under, a parent does have to come with them. But we get a lot of our volunteers from our local high schools and colleges.
Very good, very good. Anything else you want to add, Brooke, before we move on?
I don't think so.
February
Come on out,
15th.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. We'll be back in a few minutes right after these messages. Good deal.
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. You leave it better than you found it, so future generations can enjoy a way of life that you love. Thanks to your efforts, we're fortunate to experience clean water, abundant wildlife, and healthy rural communities. Your work is vital, and its benefits extend far beyond your property, reaching millions of other Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. You take care of the land because it's the right thing to do. But did you know that conservation can also improve your bottom line? Take a moment and find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
I am joined by two staffers from the early childhood instruction. Well, one's the instructional coach and one's the specialist. And they are here today to talk about enrollment for pre-K and the application process. So we're going to pick on Beth first. Are Head Start and pre-K the same thing?
That's a great question. We hear that a lot. Yes, preschool and Head Start in New Hanover County are run by New Hanover County Schools. So effectively, they are the same program.
Okay. And does every child that will apply get to attend?
So children will apply, and it's an application process. So based off of requirements, there's a list of documents that need to be handed in with a completed application. And so based off of that, we input all the data that's received about a child, and then our system will say if they qualify or not.
Okay, fair enough. What are the eligibility requirements?
There's a couple of different eligibility requirements. The main one that we have is that your child needs to be 3 or 4 on or before August 31st of this coming year. So that's the first big one. And then the other eligibility requirement that we look at is income. So there's some income brackets that we look at for families that are eligible for our program.
Okay, and what age do they need to be?
They need to be 3 or 4 before August 31st.
Okay.
So you got to think about it like kindergarten. If they're 5, they go to kindergarten by that time. If they're still 3 or 4 in August, they come to us.
Gotcha. So if I were a parent of a 3 or 4-year-old, how do I apply?
Good question. Michelle?
So you will pick up an application. Throughout the community there will be applications. All the elementary schools will have applications, and you'll fill that out. Once you have the application completed and all the required documents, you will bring them to either the Spencer Building, Johnson Pre-K Center, or Mosley Career Readiness Center off of Princess Place.
Very good. You said the word document. Can one of you tell us what documents they need to bring?
Yes, there's quite a few documents, and in fact, I'm going to look at my document.
There you go.
To
I
help
like
us
it,
with
Beth.
this. So for your child, you're going to need their birth certificate, the certified copy. You're also going to need their immunization record, their insurance card or Medicaid card, and then if applicable, if your child has an IEP or any kind of service documents, we'll need those. As a parent or guardian, you will need to bring in your picture ID. Any kind of ID will work. So if you have a passport or if you have a resident card, whatever, we take all of those. Proof of residency, so your lease, your mortgage statement, a statement saying that you live with someone and that, that kind of thing. Also income verification, so that's a big one. So that's going to be a W-2, a pay stub for the end of the year. We also take letters of employment from your employer stating that you're employed. And then also, if applicable, we'll need any kind of guardianship papers that you have.
Okay. And what do you consider a complete application?
A complete application is going to be our full application is filled out. Then all of the sections filled out. And then also all of those required documents need to be turned in at the same time.
Okay, and we talked about the certified birth certificate. Anything special people need to know about that?
It can't be a mother's copy. I think that's the other thing that's floating around out there. It has to be the certified birth certificate.
It has like a raised seal, I think.
Yeah, it's super official, definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And tell us, what's a typical preschool day like?
Oh, I love that question. Michelle, you want to take that?
So our school day is 6.5 hours long. We start off early in the morning. Most of our schools start around 7:30ish and go about until 2:15. And they come in, they have breakfast. They go outside for an hour every day, weather permitting. 2.5 hours of free choice time approximately. We serve breakfast, lunch, and snack. There's a rest time. And so our program runs off of creative curriculum, which is free choice. And so we are meeting the children where they are, and we are working on their growth and development where they are.
So do I envision a day where there's the 2.5 hours, there's centers, that kind of thing?
Yes.
And they can kind of do what they want?
Absolutely. So each of the centers is facilitated by either a teacher or a TA, or sometimes it's just children in a center playing by themselves that has been intentionally set up for them to explore. So there's block center, we have writing center, science center, which we call discovery center. So there's dramatic play, which is where you typically see, your washer and dryer and your sink and your kitchen and that kind of thing. So, kids at this age really learn through play and through interaction, and so that's what our classrooms are built on.
They're learning by accident.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a lovely way to put it. Yeah.
About how many kids do we have in the pre-K program?
So there's nearly 900 children in our program. We've been expanding for the past couple of years, adding extra classrooms. We recently got some money from the county commissioners to open 3 classrooms at Mosley, which serves 3-year-olds. So we're always looking for ways, applying for grant money and applying for money with the state and federal government to expand our classrooms.
So that's new for Mosley to have the 3 classrooms for...
This is their 3rd year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's fresh, and we're hoping to continue that partnership with the county commissioners for sure.
Is transportation provided?
Transportation is provided at all of our sites.
Nice.
However, what we do is we try to run on the district line. So some of our kids, sometimes our buses don't pick up right in front of the houses, is what I'm saying.
Understood.
So there might be like a group stop where parents come together and all the kids get on the bus and head to Johnson or Howe or something like that.
Nice.
So we do what we can.
That can be fun.
Yeah, the bus is an experience for sure.
I don't care how old you are, it can be an experience.
Exactly.
What do you see as the biggest challenge of the whole process?
We've been talking a lot about that. So statistically, what we're hearing from the state is that we should be able to serve more kids, and that's going to be our charge really, is finding families that need these services and getting that service to them. So that's probably our biggest challenge right now, and just making sure that our classrooms are funded. We know that we're serving a lot of kids, and now we want to focus on amping up that quality of service. So bringing in those extra mental health services, those extra dental services, doctor visits, those types of things.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I said your names in the beginning, so
Oh.
I have Beth Peddle.
Yes.
And I have Michelle Gray.
Yeah, perfect.
So Beth and Michelle, thanks for sharing this information. And did we talk about a deadline?
So great question. There's not exactly
Okay.
a deadline.
Okay.
We take rolling applications all year.
Okay.
However, I highly encourage families to get in their application as soon as possible. And those will be available February 1st.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was good information.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much. We will be back in a few minutes right after these messages.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
We hope you've enjoyed our program today. To learn more about the Curie Beach Polar Plunge, call 910-341-7253. The event kicks off February 15th at 11 a.m. at the Curie Beach Boardwalk. For more information about pre-K enrollment, visit www.nhcs.net. You can pick up applications beginning February 3rd. And if you ever have any questions about the topics we discussed here on the show today, please call the school system's public relations office at 254-4106 or check out the school system's website at www.nhcs.net. I'm Sheila Evans, and thanks for joining me today.